The movie begins on an island in Montreal, where a biotech company is hired to maintain a golf club field. The company's employees use a new type of fertilizer that melts snow and keeps the grass fresh and green so wealthy people can play golf all year round. The next day, a security guard named Dan is shown stocking up on supplies at his house. Dan listens to a radio show that talks about how disasters can strike at any time, and he is preparing himself to deal with emergencies. That night, he practices starting a fire. For this, he uses powder taken from a shotgun shell, which causes a small explosion and burns one of his eyebrows. The scene then shifts to Dan's daughter, Patricia, who works as a helper at the golf club. At the golf club, the biotech company's CEO, Michelle, is showing a wealthy couple around the course. Meanwhile, the fertilizer is contaminating the water beneath the ground, which is supplied to the entire town. We then see a man named Jacques drinking the water before going shopping. At the store, tap water is being used to keep fruits and vegetables fresh. Suddenly, Jacques starts feeling dizzy, but he ignores it. When he gets home, he notices that his teeth are turning green and strange noises are coming from his stomach. As he goes to the bathroom looking for his wife, he has already turned into a zombie. He bites his wife, causing her to become a zombie as well. Meanwhile, at the golf club, Michelle and the couple head toward the main building, but nobody is there. Suddenly, a man comes running toward them and warns that people are getting sick and that they should leave immediately. At that moment, a group of employees can be seen chasing him. They have all turned into zombies. A dog is also nearby, and when the wife calls it over, it suddenly jumps on her and bites her neck. Seeing this, her husband and Michelle throw the dog away. Then they notice more zombies running toward them. The woman also starts turning into a zombie, while the two men quickly run inside the building and lock the door. However, the dog secretly gets inside the building and bites the husband's leg. Because of this, they lock him in a separate room. Outside, the zombies gather at the door and begin pounding on it. Soon the husband turns into a zombie as well and starts chasing Michelle, who hides in the kitchen with a knife in his hand. On the other side, Dan receives a call from a woman complaining that her neighbors are making a lot of noise. When he arrives and rings the bell, the neighbors come outside, but they have already turned into zombies. Then the woman also becomes a zombie and starts chasing Dan. Dan quickly gets into his car and calls for backup, but nobody responds. After seeing the zombies, Dan calls his daughter Patricia, but she is busy running from zombies herself and cannot answer. Dan then leaves the company vehicle behind, takes his own car, grabs a weapon, and sets out to find his daughter. In the next scene, we see a boy named Andre preparing milk for his little sister Annie. He is about to use tap water, but his mother tells him to use bottled water instead. Andre never drinks tap water himself. Whenever he feels thirsty, he drinks soda or some other beverage. Soon, his mother starts feeling dizzy. Andre says that she is probably feeling that way because of too much exercise. A short while later, his mother turns into a zombie and starts chasing him. Andre runs outside in fear and falls while trying to escape. Just as she is about to attack him, Dan hits her with his car, injuring her. Andre tries to help her, but Dan stops him and says that this is not the time to be emotional, but to save his life. Dan tells him to hide inside his house and then leaves. Soon, more zombies begin arriving. Andre cannot leave his mother there, so he drags her by the legs back into the house. After locking all the doors, he calls the police for help, but receives a recorded message saying that the entire island is under quarantine. In the next scene, we see the bridge that connects the island to the main city. Several police officers are standing there, and they have closed the bridge gates so that nobody from outside can enter and nobody from inside can leave. The scene shifts back, and Andre's mother goes to attack his little sister Annie. Andre drags her into the bathroom and locks her inside. There, she notices water dripping from the shower and climbs into the bathtub. Meanwhile, Annie keeps crying. Hearing her cries, many zombies gather outside the house. Andre covers her with pillows, blankets, and plastic so that her voice cannot be heard outside. After some time, all the zombies leave. In the next scene, Patricia is shown hiding inside a garage to escape the zombies. Dan immediately arrives. He takes out his knife and kills some zombies while knocking others to the ground. After that, he goes inside. At the same time, the police officers stationed at the bridge leave because the military begins bombing the infected area to destroy the zombies. As a result, the entire town loses power. The next morning, Annie's babysitter arrives near the bridge to come to work, but the bridge has already been destroyed. Meanwhile, Andre starts recording videos of the zombies from his house window. At the same time, a press conference is shown on the internet where the defense minister says that the bridge was destroyed for security reasons and that the situation is currently under control. After this, Andre goes to check on his mother and sees that her body is covered with a green, sticky substance. Suddenly, his mother tries to attack Annie. Andre distracts her by bringing her favorite vegetable in front of her. Attracted by it, his mother starts chasing him. They both reach the living room, where his mother crashes into the TV stand. The television falls on top of her, killing her. Andre sadly carries his mother back into the bathroom and notices that grass has started growing from her wounds. After that, Andre takes a ladder and looks outside through the front door. There's zombies standing everywhere. He puts Annie into a baby carrier, grabs a golf club, and opens the front door. The zombies notice the cat and rush into the house to catch it. Andre immediately runs away. He heads toward the grocery store, and the zombies chase after him. But all the doors are locked, and the zombies surround him. Suddenly, Dan pulls him inside. Dan has already set up a camping area there, but none of them know what to do next. All the boats have already left the island. Later, Andre goes to check on his sister Annie. At that moment, he notices a locked-up zombie. It is Patricia. Dan still hopes that she will get better. Meanwhile, at the golf club, Michel sanitizes all the doors. After that, he calls his company, and they tell him that experts are coming to help. Just then, a zombie dog starts barking at him, and he kicks it away. Back at the store, Dan fails to start a fire. Then Andre uses a lighter and lights it. While eating, they listen to a radio show where terrorists are being blamed for the zombie outbreak. The host interviews the defense minister, who gives vague answers. This makes the host suspicious that the government might be planning to kill infected people along with the zombies. At that moment, Dan calls the radio station and asks for help. The host replies that people do not want the infection to spread and first asks Dan for complete information about where they are. Dan then hangs up the phone. After this, Dan and Andre try to figure out how the infection started so that a vaccine can be made. Eventually, Dan concludes that the infection spread through water because everyone who turned into a zombie had been drinking tap water. However, Dan never drank tap water because of his paranoia. He always feared that terrorists might poison the water supply. A little later, the three of them leave the store. They take Patricia with them as well. A cage has been placed over her head so that she cannot bite anyone. Outside, they see several zombies whose bodies are covered with a green, sticky substance. Suddenly, a little girl attacks Dan. He pushes her away but cannot bring himself to kill her. Before the zombies can attack them, they get inside and drive away. Meanwhile, the biotech company sends twin sisters armed with weapons to the golf club. On their way, they kill every zombie that comes in front of them. Inside the club, Michel is burning all the documents related to the deal so that no evidence remains showing that their fertilizer caused the zombie outbreak. In the end, he keeps a small sample of the fertilizer. Just then, the twins arrive. Michel takes one of their suitcases, which contains several spheres. Inside those spheres is a cure that can eliminate the infection within 24 hours. But as soon as Michel picks one up, the twins grab him and force a sample into his mouth. After that, they knock him unconscious and drag his body away. During the struggle, one of the spheres slips from Michel's hand and falls to the ground. Then we see the three survivors arriving at the water plant. They leave Annie in the car so that her noise does not attract any zombies. The three of them enter the building, where there is a zombie inside a water tank. Patricia suddenly runs toward it, so Dan and Andre go after her. She jumps into the pool, and Dan jumps in as well to save her. At that moment, the zombie attacks Dan. Dan grabs Patricia and puts her in front of the zombie, causing it to back away. He realizes that zombies do not attack each other. But then the zombie hears Andre's voice and starts chasing him. Andre runs outside, but more zombies begin chasing him there. Meanwhile, Dan tries to pull Patricia out of the water, but one of her arms comes off. Andre eventually reaches the car, and shortly after, Dan comes outside as well. He uses Patricia as a shield. After getting into the car, a phone starts ringing. They discover that Patricia's phone is still with her. Dan unlocks it and notices that grass has grown on her wounds. Then he remembers that an experiment had been conducted at the golf club, and this might be connected to it. Meanwhile, at the golf club, the twins begin breaking all the spheres on the grass so that no evidence remains. At that moment, Dan arrives there, and Andre takes out his phone and starts recording everything. After that, they head toward the front door, but it is locked. Dan climbs onto the roof and gets inside, then opens the door. After entering, he locks Patricia inside a storage room, while Andre uses chairs to build a wall around Annie for protection. Then Dan and Andre search the entire building. During their search, they find the dog that is still alive and grass has grown all over its body. Just then, Dan starts feeling dizzy. At the same time, Annie begins crying loudly. Andre goes to calm her down, but when he reaches her, he discovers that she is missing from her bed. Meanwhile, Andre starts searching for his little sister. Meanwhile, Dan goes into a dark hallway where several bombs are lying on the floor that could blow up the building. By now, his condition is getting worse, but he does not give up and reaches the room where all the bombs are connected to a timer. Dan has become very weak, so he falls down and struggles to get back up. He uses Patricia's severed arm to switch off the timer. At that moment, his eyes also begin turning green. Outside the building, the twins notice that the building has not exploded even after a long time, so they go inside to check. In the kitchen, they find Annie. They feed her fertilizer and then leave. Meanwhile, Andre reaches the room where the zombie Michelle is locked up while searching for his sister. Seeing this, he goes the other way and finds Annie. He is about to leave with her when the twins block his path. One of them covers Annie's mouth, while the other tries to force fertilizer into Andre's mouth. But before that, Annie turns into a zombie and bites one of the twins on the hand, causing the fertilizer sample to fall. At the same moment, Dan attacks the other twin and bites her. As Andre steps back, his foot lands on the cure sphere lying on the floor. The sphere breaks, and smoke spreads everywhere. As a result, Annie and Dan slowly begin recovering. Dan starts chasing Andre, and both of them run into the kitchen. Just as Dan is about to bite Andre, he suddenly senses Annie's presence and stops. At the same time, the two twins pull out their guns and shoot each other because they do not want to become zombies. In the next scene, Andre takes Dan's old phone from his jacket and calls Patricia's phone. Following the ringing sound, he finds the phone and starts recording a video. In the video, he explains everything that has happened so far. He then uploads it to the internet while asking for help. After that, he takes Dan to Patricia's room. As soon as Andre's video reaches the news channels, the government sends the military to clear the area. The soldiers kill every zombie in their path using flamethrowers. Andre then comes out of the building and raises his hands, asking for help. He is carrying Patricia's severed arm with him because it could help create a vaccine. Just then, another survivor approaches the soldiers, and they shoot him dead. Seeing this, Andre realizes that the soldiers have not come to rescue survivors, but to kill everyone and clean the area. By now, Annie has fully recovered, so Andre runs away and hides with her. Meanwhile, inside the golf club, Dan has also recovered. But then the soldiers enter the building and burn both him and Patricia to death. In the next scene, the defense minister appears on television and announces that the infection has been completely eliminated and that nobody needs to be afraid anymore. Then he drinks water from a mug that has the biotech company's logo on it, proving that he was also involved in the incident. Meanwhile, Andre is wandering around trying to stay alive. Along the way, he finds dead bodies that have been killed by the soldiers. Suddenly, he notices a boat in the river. It had been brought there by Annie's babysitter. She rescues Andre and Annie. As they leave the island, Andre throws the severed arm into the water. A fish bites it and immediately turns into a zombie. And with that, the movie comes to an end,